Before we even get started, I got something to show. Bitcoin was just at $2,800, 2,482 as of this moment. It may go down a little more. That's $420 that it's down. And I'm just taking a bunch of I was just taking a shilling from the shills. I thought you said it was going down 500. The webbot says it's going down $500.
And it is, by the way, it is about 10 minutes after 1.
Yeah, it's down almost $500. I get it. It said originally 2,300 looked like would be the mark, and then it would drop. It got to 28. Now it's dropping. The good news is, don't bother with when the webbot says anything about dips or expect that, where you want to try to sell off, and don't play the game. Just buy the damn thing and sit on it. If it dips and you got a couple more dollars in cash, buy it on the dip. Keep adding to your stack. Don't try to play this damn game. There's gonna be some big players, as I just said in the latest report, like that I got yesterday or whatever. You're gonna see some people taking profit, and it's gonna be some wild swings. They're gonna make people like, whoa, nervous. You know what the hell just happened? But
well, if you like it at 2,000 or you like it at 2,200, then if you're buying at 2,400 and you like it, then you're gonna like it at 2,200 more.
That's right. You're gonna like it at 3,000, 4,000, doesn't matter. As long as it keeps going up, right?
That's it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna start taking a look a little bit deeper into some of these and see where and what and how.
Yep. It's like we were talking in the car, Sean Hannity, all of a sudden, he's covering this Seth Rich DNC,
murder.
He comes out of nowhere. The family wants me to just, leave it alone for now, whatever. So I'm just gonna, I'll cover it when we need to cover it, but I'm gonna go ahead and, back off a little bit. Now all of a sudden he's taking a vacation out of nowhere. Advertisers are dropping, we're dropping it now from Sean Hannity's show. He takes an abrupt vacation all of a sudden.
There's a difference. There's a difference in what you're seeing. Well, there's no dispute that he was murdered. No dispute.
Right.
He was walking either home or to work at 4 o'clock in the morning. He was shot in the back by somebody. He was absolutely murdered. So there's no question about the murder. And I think where Sean Hannity is going with it is he's trying to piece it together that it was somebody within the DNC that did it. That he knew who his murderer was, and he was murdered because of what he released to WikiLeaks, that we know has been done. So some people are claiming, I read today, that oh, he's not murdered, how can you say that, blah, 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 but he was murdered. There's no dispute over that whatsoever. The method of murder and the reason of the murder has not been established. I read today that Joe Rich, Seth Rich's dad, said that this guy, Bauman, I think his name was Bauman, was assigned to him by the DNC. Those are his words.
Yeah.
This guy was assigned to us to speak on our behalf. I've made numerous attempts, numerous calls to say we don't want him talking on our behalf. I don't know who assigned him to us. We don't want him. Berkman is somebody else, and he's like, I've tried to tell him over and over again, we don't want this guy speaking on our behalf. We can get our own representation, and I don't need anybody to speak for me.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more going on here. This guy was a data analyst guy who worked for the DNC. Why would the DNC appoint somebody to speak on his behalf?
Right.
If
this isn't a DNC matter, this is a family matter.
He worked for the DNC, and he was murdered, and all of a sudden the DNC is now taken over.
Yeah, you don't get a spokesperson.
You don't get yeah.
Doesn't make sense. And the other thing I was going to say is WND, that website.
Yep.
Covering the same stuff. Twitter account banned for 12 hours due to a violation of, they replied, well, what violation? What do we do? That particular video or link is down for their Twitter account. So everything attached right now to Seth Rich's murder is all of a sudden causing people. Sean Hannity's got to take a vacation. This one's out of the way. That one's out of the way. I mean, it's out of control. And is the timing not suspicious of this bombing that just happened at the Ariana Grande concert in the UK when all of this is hitting the peak?
Yeah.
And it's at the end of the concert when they're leaving. you know, the least.
Well, they couldn't get in. I mean, obviously they had the bomb. They had to be outside. They couldn't get into the stadium to detonate anything. They had to wait till they were outside. I get that, and there was no security out there to. Supposedly there was no security to get in either, but I don't know. I can't verify that, but I read that somewhere. But Hannity has said, he's been saying all along, he's under attack. He's under attack. They went after Bill O'Reilly. I mean, these people don't like the First Amendment unless it benefits them.
Right.
The First Amendment is there for freedom of speech.
That's a far left liberal view right there.
If you don't like, I don't care. First Amendment only applies to what I want to say and what my thoughts are. What you say doesn't matter. I tweeted Sean Hannity this morning and I said, don't give in to the pressure. What you should do, if people are boycotting you just like they did O'Reilly, you do your whole show with no commercials.
Yeah.
Do your show completely commercial free. You don't need any advertisers. You don't need any. And what's going to happen?
Or just ask out loud, hey, everyone who supports the show, as you can see, the liberals are taking their advertising away. How about you guys support me, advertise on my show?
Do a private advertising.
Make a good deal. Private advertising. Yep.
That would be good. Private advertising. Hey guys, we're gonna stop all the advertising. Fox News makes $1 million this hour on advertising for this show. So we're gonna ask for donations from people to try and come up to whatever it's gonna cost, whatever that dollar amount happens to be.
Yeah.
We're taking donations. So everybody send some money if you want to keep the show in the air. You want me to talk what I want to talk about. Send some money on the air
You see how
to
rotten,
keep us.
You see how rotten this is, though. Let me take a guy's livelihood away. So he can't feed his family. And I get it. Sean Hannity's a millionaire, but they do this to the same small guys, the small YouTubers. Isn't it funny that just 2 months ago, advertiser boycott on YouTube? Well, it's because the videos are showing up on extremist content. Oh, you mean extremist content? What you call like this Seth Rich story? That'd be extremist content to them.
Right.
We're pulling our advertising. We don't want our ads showing up on that.
Free speech.
So people got royally destroyed. Mm-hmm. Many people, private journalists that were just starting to make a living, got absolutely destroyed, decimated for the same reason. But they just tried to play it off as, well, it's just advertising. Why would the advertisers leave all of a sudden just because he's covering a Seth Rich story?
Because George Soros is paying them the money.
Of course.
That's what it is. It's George Soros,
They're
Hillary
higher-ups.
Clinton.
Say to stop, we have to stop.
That's it.
We got shareholders, and they're telling us to get out.
I'm thinking about getting on Gab. Gab is something I'm looking at. I see it on my Twitter feed all the time. Get on Gab, get on Gab.
I've heard of it too.
I couldn't get on it before. I couldn't get on it because there was a waiting list. The server, they weren't ready. It was a 4-month waiting list.
I remember,
I think that has now passed. I think they're ready to go, and I'm seriously thinking about doing that.
That's right. There won't be silence. You want to block us on this platform?
There is no blocking. There's no blocking on Gab.
We'll create our own platform and we'll let people on it. Have a nice day.
Whatever you want to say, you say. There's no.
Love it. Absolutely love it. So
YouTube's going to be next. Whoever's going to create a channel that allows YouTube content to not be censored. When Snowflake goes in.
There's vid.me. Already handled. Vid.me.
Yep. But let a snowflake go on there and say, I don't really like this. You're going to get a million F-offs.
Right.
You don't like it, go somewhere else.
To whoever you want, it's not going to go anywhere.
Yep. Yeah. Now you also got, Debbie Wasserman Schultz staying back on the Seth Rich thing. Debbie Wasserman Schultz threatens the police officer.
Police chief.
Yep. Police chief. Yeah.
Yeah, because she handles the money, what do you call it, the budget. She handles their budget. You screw with us, I may have to deal with, knock that budget down a little bit. Yeah, but even so, it's still odd because that guy became the police chief, I thought, recently after the whole Pizzagate thing. So I was like, well, this guy seems like he's one of the club.
No.
But if she had to talk with him.
Might be. Maybe it's just coming out and he's going to play, I'm the tough guy, you're going to do it. And then maybe he might just,
Yeah.
She threatened him, so if, she made a threat to him. So if it comes out that, he backs off all of a sudden, maybe they did really threaten him with something. And off camera, and he's like, yeah, it's not worth my life or whatever. But supposedly they're gathering info on her IT staffers.
The ones from overseas, and the same guys. Remember they had to let them go. The IT staffers that were overseas, they were like Pakistani or something. They're like, how the hell these guys get in here? They're paying them $150,000 a year, and then let them go right when Trump won. I think those were the same stoppers.
It could be. Well, I think the police chief is gathering info on there.
I think that's the stoppers we're talking about. When they
Yeah.
say, well, they believe they've got massive dirt on all these Democrats, basically,
Yep.
and they're using it, which is why no charge has been filed yet.
So let's see how that goes. That's going to be interesting to follow, and you know, if everybody bands together, I mean, the DNC is not going to kill everybody off. Eventually, people are going to get taken down, and it's going to just, the marbles are going to fall. You just got to get the people in those places that you got that job for a reason, you know, tuck your balls in and let's get going.
Yep.
Let's make it happen. Let's drain the swamp so we can get back to where we need to go.
Let me write that down. Tuck your balls in.
Tuck your balls in.
Okay, I got it.
Be a sumo wrestler, man. Suck up those balls and get it going. Let's see, Katy Perry. I love Katy Perry. Who doesn't love Katy Perry? She's beautiful. She's talented. She can sing.
But she has no business in politics.
But what an idiot. Yeah, keep your mouth shut when
It's
it
like
comes
Danny
to
DeVito recently talking about same kind of crap.
You know, Katie, you got a $20 million compound somewhere. Why don't you take in a bunch of these refugees? Let them go ahead and wander around your land. Better yet.
Oh, they're going to wander around all right on her.
Better
on
yet,
top of her.
if you really want that to happen, these migrants, what you should do, get rid of your bodyguards, get rid of all your, you know, entourage. And once you go into, gosh, you don't even have to go to Pakistan or Saudi Arabia. Go to Detroit. Just walk around the city of Detroit and see where you're able to go in your skimpy little outfit.
Baltimore's becoming that now.
You don't even have to leave the country. Just wear your little cute little skirt, your cutesy little skirt, and your little, you know, your little tank top, and put your hair up and your cute little shoes, and just walk around downtown Detroit.
You'll see what these people do to you, just like the refugees.
And then come back to us and tell us that these guys are all safe and that everybody else is Islamophobia. Bull crap.
Right.
Just try it. Just do it one time. If you make it out, I would love to hear what that story is all about. I'll bet you Ariana Grande, I bet she was on the same page as Madonna, another one.
Until a little incident just happened at her concert.
Yep. Madonna, Katy Perry.
Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure I didn't hear her come out right after that saying we need to bring more refugees into these countries. Matter of fact, I'm going to Germany next. Can we make sure that you guys open the floodgates before I get there?
Yeah, Ariana Grande, you know what happened? I heard. She flew back. She's from Florida, by the way. She lives down in Boca, I believe. And she flew back home.
Mushroom onion bacon?
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Do y'all need anything else right now?
Mayonnaise, please.
Mayonnaise?
A couple extra napkins, maybe?
Extra napkins and mayonnaise?
Yep.
Thanks.
All right. To be continued.
After lunch.
All right. Back after lunch. So we were talking about how, you know, Ariana Grande back home, whatever, you know.
Yeah, she's back in Florida. I don't know if the rest of her tour is canceled. I don't know what the deal is, but, you know, you need some of these other snowflakes like Katy Perry or Madonna. Let them do a concert. Let this happen at one of their concerts and let them see. Well, wait a minute. Maybe we may be a little bit more careful about, you know, letting a lot of these people in. These people live in such a bubble. They don't think that there's bad in the world. I think everybody's great and that we're just overreacting. Just look at the pictures of the immigrants coming into the country. Look at the pictures. You see any women and children? I don't.
Nope.
I see men at fighting age between the ages of 16 and 35 is what I see.
Lots of them.
Lots and lots of them. So I think Ariana Grande, you know, although I can't say with certainty, but I think she might have had her eyes opened a little bit. I'd like to check out her Twitter feed to see what she's saying.
Yeah.
If she's saying anything. She might still be, I know she tweeted out right away that she was so sad and that her heart was breaking. And just look at the pictures of the 8-year-old little girl or the 15-year-old girl that were killed.
Yep.
You know, not all Muslims are bad. There's a lot of great Muslims. But to ignore the problem and say we're just going to ignore it, like what Theresa May said, we should just come to expect this. No, we should never expect this. You brought this on yourself. This is from you.
Right, this is all their policies. Wide open doors. Wide open borders. Isn't that what they want? Open borders? George Soros?
Yep.
Have that everywhere.
Yep. Open border society. It's just a sad thing, you know. You see these innocent people just killed. for no reason, to further an agenda that nobody even liked. Not all Muslims are terrorists. All terrorists are Muslims.
Right.
So we need to remember the little math thing from high school. You drew the circles. You know,
Yeah.
not all trees are you know, not all trees are green, but all trees have trunks. And you draw little circles, and there's a section in there. And even if it's 1%, I mean, how many Muslims are in the world? A billion Muslims? If it's a 0.1%, that's still an awful lot of people that can do a lot of damage.
Right. Right.
I had a conversation with somebody at work about, you know, when you see any of these killings out there, 99% of the time you see these killings, mass killings, shooters, it's always the radical left that does it. It's, I think the one kid who killed up the black church in North Carolina or something, he might have been more of center right, but you know, everybody else is left, Democrat.
It's true. For whatever reason, it is true.
So anyway, my heart goes out to everybody in Manchester. I mean, dealing with that aftermath, such a joyous occasion. Everybody was excited to go. Stuff like that should never happen. It should never happen in this country. And if the Ninth Circuit Court, you know, weren't a bunch of pussies,
Yep.
it wouldn't happen in this.
Yeah, they need to get rid of that turd as soon as possible.
Yeah, Trump you took an oath to defend this country. You defend the country, and the court can't tell you what you can do to defend this country. Shut it down.
Right.
Shut the border down.
With the wall up.
You know, I was talking to my wife about this the other day, and we were talking about, what are you going to do? I mean, we got, 11, 15 million immigrants, you know, in this country. What are we going to do? Everybody wants amnesty and, you know, shut the border down. At this point, I almost don't care about the amnesty. My thing is this. Go after the gang members. What is it, the MS-13? They're just
one of them, Mexican mafia.
horrible people. These people will cut you up in pieces just to laugh at you. They're just horrible people. But build a wall. Get that border slammed shut. Anybody that's in this country, leave them in the country. If they haven't done anything wrong, leave them here. They should get their own citizenship card, different from American citizens. You can call it, I don't know, call it something else, but give them citizenship to this country. As long as they're on the books, give them Social Security cards, make them, you know, a citizen. They probably shouldn't be allowed to vote. They weren't born here, right? But give them a citizenship to this country, keep their families here, with the caveat, if you break a law in a way that murder, I mean, DUI, people get DUIs all the time, so maybe that's not going to be critical enough, but murder, rape, armed robbery,
Kidnapping,
instantly deported out of this country, you lose your citizenship card, you're done. Get them out of here, but once that wall is slammed shut and you're not letting anybody in, revamp the policy of how many we let in every year, keep the 11 million here, and then the port goes and
you have to know who you're letting in. Well, you know,
Absolutely.
the FBI, the DHS, we've all said we wouldn't be able to vet them. All right, well, that sounds good. Let's let them in.
Yeah.
You know, we've lost all of our freedoms because of 9/11 and all this terror stuff, and now you're
We lost our freedoms, but the rest of the
letting
world
them in
is.
now.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Oh, I think if you were to do an immigration policy, I think if you build that wall 50 feet high, you slam it shut, you revamp how many people you're going to bring in this country, and then anybody that's here illegally right now, set up a program for them to get an illegal card, a legal citizenship status in this card, give them social security numbers, driver's licenses, you name it. Don't make them, can't call them American citizens because they're not, but you can fully integrate them in here where there's no fear of them being deported unless they commit a violent felon or a violent act. Done. Now, yes, we still got 11 million in this country we're going to have to take care of, but now they're going to be all legal. They'll be able to get paid like they're supposed to get paid. They'll be able to contribute to our taxes like they're supposed to contribute, and everything else. And that door is slammed shut. Nobody else coming in. Done.
Yep.
If you were to come in, special request, we're going to let certain people come in. You know, you let in 500,000 a year or whatever the policy happens to be. And because you're not going to get rid of 11 million people. And I think trying to fix that is going to be a problem.
Right.
And it was Reagan who gave amnesty to a lot of people. When he gave amnesty to those people back in the 80s, they should have shut the border down completely. Obama, he left the doors open. And we were overrun. So go back to that. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, that's when you have a president telling you you're a citizen. If you vote, you are a citizen. Strictly to the illegals.
Yes.
Because the question is being asked of him about, I'm not here legally, whatever, and he's saying if you vote, you're a citizen.
Voting is the most fundamental right we have as a human being in this country. Being born here, it's our right to be born in this country. It's the thing that we should cherish above and beyond anything else here. If you are an illegal and you are caught voting, you should be expelled from this country, never to return.
Yep.
And if they held true to any of that stuff for voter fraud, we would be in a far better place than we could be. But I that would be my immigration plan. If I was going to put something in place, that's what I would do. I don't care about the 11 million that are here. I care about the gang members. I care about the people committing violent drug acts, guns, rapes.
Right.
Those are the people I care about. Those are the people I want to have. The rest of them, we live in a state.
You can't fault someone who wants to try to better their life and family life, and where they're at,
Yes.
they're just suffering. I mean, you can't fault someone for that.
No. We work in a state. We live in a state where these people come in, where they're picking fruits, vegetables, strawberries.
Yep.
These people are vital to our economy. Vital. What are you going to do if they're not here? The cost of everything is going to go up tremendously. We don't want to do that either.
Well, it's like minimum wage. Raise the minimum wage, that costs go up.
So I think that we can revamp the policy by just leaving what we got and issuing cards to those people. I don't know, just my ramblings on it.
Yeah.
But as far as Katy Perry goes, Madonna goes, when something happens at one of their concerts, because there's going to certainly be a lot more people at their concert than there is at Ariana Grande, then maybe they'll have a change of heart and realize, hey, wait a minute, I live in this bubble. This doesn't happen in my bubble.
Right, that's exactly right.
J.K. Rowling.
And you don't want to leave the bubble.
J.K. Rowling, we should treat them better, we should let them in, we should do this. Okay, J.K., you've got 8 houses. Let them congregate at your house. Let them move in with you. Oh, yeah, no. Yeah,
didn't they do that? Where was that, at France the other day? Or remember we were talking about it last time?
There was a, I think it was in England, there was a guy interviewing people. What do you think about the migrants coming in? And, well, I think all the migrants should come. I think if they're trying to escape, what they have in their own country and they want a better life, then, they should come in. That was a consensus answer across the board. And you saw the interview where that was 10 different people. And then right after that, you saw the response, well, you know what? I'm working with the Amnesty International, and we're trying to place some of these migrants in homes. We're glad you have that thought. Can we go ahead and give me your address so we can go ahead and have them stay with you? Oh, well, no. Well, no. I can't do it this week. I'm too busy. I'm going on vacation, and I'm not going to be home. Or, yeah, it sounds good in theory. But as soon as you try to hold people's feet to the fire, the excuses that were given of why they didn't want to house these people was just unbelievable.
Yep.
It just goes the complete hypocrisy of the left. Do as I say, not as I do.
Exactly.
I don't know, the other thing too, the Russia probe, independent investigator going in there. I say, bring it on.
Go ahead. You can't find something. The only way they're finding something, they make it up. If
Oh.
they make it up, they're gonna have proof. So, show us the proof.
Well, the NSA or CIA or they can go in and input a footprint, or a fingerprint in there to say, oh look, I traced this back and it went back to this server. They can make that up. Everybody knows that. Anybody who knows anything about data knows they can do that. But I say let it happen for one reason, because it's actually Hillary Clinton and John Podesta are really going to be the ones that have to worry about this, because Podesta, and Hillary, they're complaining about Trump's tax returns. Nobody gives a crap about tax returns.
Right.
However, John Podesta failed to mention that he has stock holdings in a company that is funded by the Kremlin.
Yeah.
And he just failed to mention that on his taxes. So here, if you really want to talk about the Russia connection, it's with Hillary and John Podesta.
Right.
They're the ones who have money in Russian companies. They're the ones who are not declaring that income on their taxes.
Yeah. Speaking of tax return, show us your tax return. And by the way, don't forget to leave anything off.
Yeah, that's it. Here's my tax return. It's not on here, but you follow the money back, and Podesta's got stocks in a company that's funded by the Kremlin. Yep. So if you want to talk about collusion, there's your collusion right there. Everything happening with Russia.
Right.
So I say bring the investigator on, let it go. You're not going to be able to find anything with Trump in there. Trump had no knowledge of anything. He knows it's garbage. The rest of us know it's garbage.
Yep.
So I think if the Democrats should be careful what they wish for, because they're going to wish for this, and they're going to see what happens, and they may freak out when they start. They'll suppress it, of course. But when it all comes down the wash, probably what's going to wind up happening. So.
Yeah. I guess we got to get ready to go, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's like.
Talk to y'all later.
All right.